Today we'll be talking about some communication tips you can use with children on the autism spectrum. So if your child is just starting out with using verbal language, and if your child is prone to doing the echolalia trait. Echolalia, you may have heard the word echolalia before. Echolalia just means them repeating back the phrases which you are asking, like what is your name, then they are repeating it back, the same as what is your name. And sometimes using very large chunks of sentences which doesn't make any sense to certain things, so they are just associating and telling. So let's not go into technical terms, rather just know that we are using that echolalia as a strength and letting them learn the language skills, or receive the language skills. So for that we have 4 tips in here, and this is based on the upcoming theory which is called just a language processing theory. So that there are 4 tips. The first tip is to use declarative language with the children. That is to make comments, narrate. You are the one who is saying these things rather than the child is saying it. So say for example you are going for a walk with your child and you see a car. Oh, there goes a car. You're just saying it, and you're not asking your child to what is that. No, what you're doing is you're just going to narrate it. You're just going to point that thing out and you're just selling that. Or maybe you can just sing to your child. Whenever you're doing something together, you can actually try singing. And this is a very good way for them to gain intonation skill. This is a very good way for them to actually gather the vocabulary. So these are some methods you can use for the declarative language. So you are narrating, you are the narrator, not the child. The second one is to don't try to force words. You don't try to force word. You don't say the prompt, say it. So when you do that, it's they are not able to associate and learn. So you don't prompt the words by say it, rather you narrate and let them receive these language skills, and later on what we hope is that later on they will start to reciprocate it. So the third one is to, and this is very important, avoid asking questions. Rather rather than the parrot method, like you tell something and you say what is this. This is like they're just memorizing this stuff. Rather we want them to use the language, the vocabulary in an independent manner, right? So that's why we are not going to be using questions in them. And the fourth one is lead the language acquisition through a natural setup, that is by using their interest and their the things they love. So for example, if your child likes to play with puzzles, when you are doing the puzzles you can so we are working with the puzzle, right? And include these words in the, so here comes the first puzzle, the second puzzle, and the third puzzle. Okay, this is a dog, then the puzzle just formed a dog. So this is the way you can use an interest of your child, include the words, the language into that. Not a lot of words, rather depends on your child. Say for example you can use it the method like if your child uses more than 3 words in a sentence, then you can use much more complicated. Otherwise if your child doesn't use a lot of words in a sentence, like say for example your child just uses 3 to 4 words in a sentence, then you can use like 3 words in a sentence. This is a puzzle, this is a dog. So like that you can go about with it. So these are the 4 tips. Try it out and